Well, getting into knife making has been kind of a, I got my starter tools over there. They're not really what you need for knife making, but they'll get me started. I just put a new wheel on my grinder, and I've ordered a fine wheel for this side. This side was 30 grit, and I replaced it with 60. I think that's 60. And this side was 60, and I'm replacing it with 120. Uh, this will not cut metal. I can order a metal blade for it, but it won't last long. I think it's a 42-inch blade, which is not enough teeth to really help me do what I need to do with the super hard steel. But I can cut handles, I can shape handles, and I can continue to use my angle grinder with a cutting wheel, and then shape it to the shape I want with the grinder. Uh, I think I haven't tried, but I'm pretty sure I can bevel the blade on that sander there. And in the meantime, I have not bought a forge, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make a forge because if I buy a knife forge, it limits me to making just knives of that size. And I'd like to make some medieval tools. I'd like to make swords. Maybe forge a war hammer completely, by hand. Anyway, this is the knife that Buck Run 11 sent me, and that's the handle, or it's the wood for the handle. It's called King wood, but I think I'm going to use this wood for this handle that I just got in this knife that I just got in the mail today, and I think I'm going to use this for this knife. Yep, that's what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. Get my holes drilled, and maybe get these epoxied together today. We'll see. Oh yeah, this is what do they call this? A bolster? It's a brass bolster, and it's going to look really, really nice. It's kind of, it doesn't really feel like I'm doing much because I'm ordering these blades already formed, and all I'm doing is putting a handle on, which is not easy. I'm learning. It's a whole lot harder than it looks to make the wood fit tight and to shape a really nice handle. This is not perfect, but it took a lot of tweaking and sanding and yeah, it took me a long time to get this, and it's, you can still see my flaws right here in the corners. I learned something with this. You got to be very, very careful with the sanding belt because you can get a little crazy real fast. So I am going to hit this with some fine sandpaper and put another coat of poly on it. I'm using polyurethane because that's what I have. I may use, some kind of oil in the future, but I'm getting into this slowly, and I can't go buy everything I need all at once because I just don't have the money. So as I get the money, I buy a little something. Anyway, I had like $10 on my Discover card in points. I had $13, and this was $16 for this, so I actually only paid $3. Not bad. And that is 10 and 3/4 inch from stem to stern. So let me get started. I'm going to cut this out first for this handle, and then I'm going to slice this down the middle. Or actually, no, I'm going to draw the handle out on here, what I want it to look like, cut that, and then slice it down the middle. All right, see you in a minute. All right, I'm not going to get to this today because I have just enough epoxy left to do this one handle here. And I've got it roughly shaped. And what I learned from this knife is on the ends that are close to the blade, shape them before you glue them and pin them, because you can't get close enough to that wood. You can't get to this edge of the wood here without scuffing up the blade. So let me get my epoxy mixed up. I got my pins. Where did I get? All right, there's 3 of them. Got my pins cut. Got the holes drilled. Now I'm gonna glue it, pin it, and put it in the vise. I'll show you what I got in a minute. Well, I have it started. Everything up to this point is pretty easy to do, but shaping the handle is where I'm finding I really need some work. And I'm going to take my time, and you can over sand, and you can take too much off really quick. So I've got to take my wife to the doctor. If I have any more, if I'm back early enough, I'm going to shape this handle. In the meantime, I'll be thinking about what I want to, I'm just going to, this is going to be an inside the house knife, my kitchen knife. So it doesn't need to, have the handle of a bush knife or anything like that. And thanks again, Buck Run 11. That's some really good steel, and it's already got a really good edge on it. We'll be back. I'm kind of happy with that. I think I'm gonna not do any more heavy sanding. I'm gonna shape. I've already got it to the shape I like. And I think what I'm going to do now is step down to a finer sandpaper and clean it up real good. What? Don't mess with the knife now. I got a knife in my hand. You know how dangerous I am with a knife. Yeah, I think I'm going to put some finer sandpaper on there and just go to rubbing it out real nice and smooth. And I'm not going to put any clear coat or polyurethane, nothing like that on here. I think what I'm going to do is just put some vegetable oil on it, and I'll keep doing that. Whenever I wash it, put some vegetable oil on the wood. That way, I'm not getting my food near anything that may be poisonous. I don't know that it is or isn't. It's just not worth taking a chance. So I'm just going to use some vegetable oil. All right, Uncle Buck, I'm going to clean the blade up, polish it up a little bit, and put a super duper edge on that. And that's going to be my new go-to kitchen knife. I do all the cooking in the house, and I have found that all those years of my wife complaining about her dull knives, now I understand why it's so important to have a sharp knife in the kitchen. Alrighty. Thanks, Uncle Buck. I appreciate you sending me this. And I learned a little more. Stop when you're ahead of the game as far as shaping the handle rather. Alright. Thank you for watching.